Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're here to start a new series on the HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen11. In this video, we're going to specifically focus on processors. But in the video series as a whole, we're going to do processors, RAM, drives, network card, RAID, supported operating systems, plus a bunch more. So click that like, smash that subscribe. Let's get going. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by today to learn a little bit more about the HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen11 server. As I mentioned, this video will be the first in the series that will be dedicated to processors. So what we're going to do in this video, first we're going to go over just some general processor information. Then we're going to go over which processors we recommend, because we get asked all the time, like, hey, you know, what's your favorite processor? And it depends on your budget, your application, a bunch of other stuff, and we'll get into that. And then at the end, we're going to do a physical install, so that might be what you came for, so you can feel free to fast forward ahead. But at the end, what we'll do is remove an old processor and show you how to install a new one to do an upgrade. So let's hop into the fun stuff. All right, so let's knock out the general information first. So there are two CPUs inside the DL365 Gen11 server. It's going to be an SP5 socket, which means it takes AMD EPYC, Genoa, and Turin. So that's going to be your 9004 and your 9005 series. So Genoa is the 9004 and Turin's the 9005. And again, it's just AMD keeping with the Italy theme. You go from she was the first one, Naples, to Rome, to Milan, to Genoa, and Turin is the new latest and greatest, and a big fan of that. So you can get a max of 320 cores in the DL365 Gen11. Yes, you can get 320 cores in this beautiful 1U box here, which means the max per CPU is 160 cores. And so that'll lead us to what CPUs do we recommend. So we're going to throw up a little handy dandy chart here that's going to show you three different categories that we like to break it down to. It's going to be our low end, our value, and our high end. And really, it's kind of self-explanatory. The low end is going to be your budget-friendly but still good processors. Your value is going to be that nice little sweet spot where you get, you know, better specs. It's going to be more expensive though, but it's not going to break the bank. And then the high end is just going to be some of the best processors that you can get. You'll notice we definitely threw some of the the ones that have the F at the end, the F series processors in there. Those are going to be the faster speeds in general, even though the F, I believe, is for frequency, not faster. I always like to say it's for full and fast, but those are going to be your faster processors, very popular within the Genoa and the Turin series. So these are just some of the ones we recommend. And if you are looking for a Genoa or Turin box, whether that's HPE or Dell or Supermicro or Gigabyte or Zeus, whatever the case may be, please email us at sales@cloudninjas.com. We stock a lot of AMD servers in general and would love the opportunity to earn your data center's business. All right, so next up, we are going to do our install. So we're going to show you how to remove your old processor and install a new one. But before we do, I'm going to grab my ESD gear and be right back.
Hey, it's Mason with Cloud Ninjas, and today I'll be showing you guys how to properly remove an old processor and install a new one into your HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen11 server. As you can see, we have all the required materials. We have our processor, a T20-bit screwdriver, a new tube of thermal paste, and a clean rag to clean off the old thermal paste from the heatsink and old processor. Let's go ahead and set these to the side, pop our latch, and lift our top, just like any other server you've been in before. As you can see, we have CPU 1 located here, and CPU 2 located here. We will begin unscrewing the heatsink starting here, and then going here, and then unscrewing these ones in an X formation. This is important because you don't want to damage the motherboard in any way, so just make sure that the heatsink is being unscrewed in an X formation. Typically it's like unscrewing the lug nuts from your tires, so it's basically the same process. Just make sure that you're doing it in an X formation, and once you have it unscrewed from the motherboard, you can simply just lift it straight up. Flipping it over, you'll see that this old thermal paste is here, and we will clean that in just a bit, so let's go ahead and set that to the side. And now take a look at the bracket around the processor. As you can see, there's a screw located here. So go ahead and take your T20-bit screwdriver and unscrew that bracket so it can move up like a hinge and set it back. Now you will notice these two blue clips. Go ahead and lift these two clips up, releasing the processor from the socket, and now we will just simply slide the processor out of that second bracket and set it to the side. So now we will go to the side of the server and use the clean rag so we can begin cleaning off the old thermal paste from the heatsink and old processor, since there's still some resale value to it. Now it's important to clean the old thermal paste off to the side of the server and not over it, so we can prevent any of that old thermal paste flaking off and getting into the CPU socket or the DIMM slots or the motherboard in general. So just make sure to clean the old thermal paste to the side of the server. Now that we have our heatsink cleaned, we can go ahead and go back into the server, and you'll notice this triangle located around the socket here. you will need to make sure that the gold triangle on the processor here matches up to the triangle around the socket here. So once you locate the two, you can go ahead and slide your processor into the bracket that we slid the old CPU out of and set it down into the socket. And now we will take the next bracket and then set that down and grab your T20-bit screwdriver to secure the bracket in place. So now we'll grab our new tube of thermal paste and begin applying it to the top of the processor. Some say we use too much, others say we use too little, but really, you want a nice even balance of thermal paste. You don't want to put too much or else it'll leak out and get into the DIMM slots and the motherboard in general, and you don't want to apply too little or you might run into some overheating issues. So make sure that you apply just enough to cover the surface of the processor and not leak out. Once that is done, we can go ahead and set our heatsink back on top and begin screwing the heatsink in the X formation that we did when we removed it. And there you go, congratulations, you've installed a new processor into your HPE ProLiant DL365 Gen11 server. Hey, do us a favor, click that like button and smash subscribe. If you're looking for any custom built HPE, Dell, Supermicro, Asus, Gigabyte, Cisco, IBM, maybe you're looking for an AMD Ryzen server or an AMD Turin server, we do it all. We have both new and refurbished. So please give us a call or email us at sales@cloudninjas.com. That's sales@cloudninjas.com. Anyways guys, thanks for stopping by.